got a lot of great feedback about our article titled Why I Build Miniature Car Seats. So today we figured we'd walk you through the process of how we build miniature motorcycle seats to be hung in your office to display to customers exactly what you're capable of doing to their seats. We start off with a cardboard template that we quickly made up of the base and the backrest. First, trace your template on a piece of 3/8 inch plywood. After they're traced, carefully use a jigsaw to cut them out. Now that we've transferred the pattern over from cardboard to 3/8 inch plywood, we're going to sand the edges using 40 grit sandpaper so that the raw edges don't cut into the material we'll eventually wrap it in. Now you'll notice that the backrest isn't mounted at an exact 90-degree angle. Instead it's mounted at a 105-degree angle. So in order to get that, we'll use a joiner piece. And the joiner piece will be mounted between the backrest and the base. To create the joiner piece, we'll start off with a 1x2 piece of wood. Set your table saw to a 15-degree angle and pass it through. The idea is to get an angle like this. Next we'll mount the backrest to the base using the joiner piece. We'll mount the joiner piece using wood glue and staples. Now in order to get the curve of the foam just right, this angle kind of gets in the way. So we're going to shave it down using a chisel and a hammer. Now that we've got the angle of the joiner just right, we'll start foaming the seat pan. The first step is to create the curve of the cushion. We'll do that by gluing a 3" by 3" brick of foam made to fit over the joiner. Using a razor blade, shave off the excess foam. Now draw the curve that you'd like the seat cushion to have, and cut it out using a foam saw. Now that the curve is cut out, we have a smooth transition from the base to the backrest. We're going to be covering the seat pan with a piece of 1" high density foam. It's important to use high density foam because we'll be sanding the edges later, and low density foam doesn't hold up to the sander very well. Cut the excess foam using a razor blade. Make sure not to tilt your blade in. Instead, cut it flush with the edge of the wood. Sand the edges of the high density foam in order to get a smooth finish. You'll notice the seam on the upholstery of the finished seat ends halfway through the middle of the base, while the front is beveled. We'll need to match that on our seat. To do so, mark where your seam will go on both sides of the foam. Next, bevel the front of the foam by using a razor blade to shave the edge. Be sure that your cut fades off up into the seam. Of course, you'll need to smooth out the rough cut. Finally, cover the entire seat in a piece of headliner fabric. Now that the fabrication is complete, we can begin the process of upholstering the seat cover. Upholster your seat in any color and material combination you prefer. For this project, we'll be using Beechwood Alante and Pecan Tech Suede. I won't describe the process of upholstering the motorcycle seat because I'm sure you already know how, but cover this seat the same way you would any other. So we finished the upholstery and we installed the cover on the motorcycle seat. On the back side, we covered it with a black trunk lining felt in order to cover the staples. We've also hung this rope so that you could easily hang the sample seat in your office showroom. And here it is, your finished sample motorcycle seat. For more, visit thehogring.com. the #1 blog and online community for auto upholstery.